We are talking to Jason McMaster of Dangerous Toys and Broken Teeth. You and I have something in common, Jason, which is the School of Rock, the franchise that has 150-plus schools open in 8 countries. I work at School of Rock in the franchise development office. We help sell and open new schools around the world. And you currently work as an instructor at School of Rock in Austin, Texas. How did you get involved with School of Rock, and is that a rewarding experience for you to work with young musicians?
Well, let me start at the top. In 2005, my friend Rick Carney, who I've known forever and ever because his band, EMG, which is kind of a weird punk rock band, kind of metal-y crossover type of thing from 80s, kind of, I don't know, it would be stylistic to like Voivod meets, I don't know, some like really odd, weird punk band. They were innovative and cool, and they played shows with Watchtower as well as on into the late 90s and early 2000s with a band I had for about 6 years called Godzilla Motor Company. And we just knew each other. We were very well acquainted. And he called me in 2005 when someone he knows from the East Coast who was involved in School of Rock franchise. I'm not sure who called him or who he was friendly with, someone he had just met on the road. I'm not sure who. I wish I did, because it would totally complete this part of my story. But to fast forward, Rick called me, hired me to be the vocal instructor for what was to be the Austin School of Rock, corporate owned school. And of course I accepted. I'd never taught a vocal lesson before because I've never had any vocal lessons before. So I had to figure out, how I was going to do that later on. But I, of course, accepted. The school just built and built from there. We're in our second location. We were in like a warehouse district in North Austin, and now we have a storefront, and we've been there 3 or 4 years at our current location. And we've got about 150 students there at the Austin school, and it's the greatest thing that I've ever had my brain wrapped around. Once these kids get it, as well once these kids get it, they are a better person, they get better grades, everything. They light up, and that's the best. I feel like, I've been on the road and playing rock and roll since I was a teenager. I've got gold albums. I've got whatever. Someone would say it's a success. This thing that I'm doing at the School of Rock, I've been there 9 years. It's the greatest thing I've ever done.
We get a lot of feedback from parents at School of Rock, and they will say, you didn't necessarily turn my daughter or my son into a virtuoso guitar player, whatever the case may be. It's not about that. It's about performance-based music education, like getting kids to play as a band in a group environment, and everything that comes with that. But the feedback we get from parents is, my kid was so shy before, he couldn't even do a presentation in front of the class, and now you've put him on stage in front of a live audience playing rock and roll. Now you've brought my son out of his shell. He has so much more confidence now, and it's really about life skills. I mean, yeah, it's about rock and roll, but it's so much more than that. It's
how they're learning, whether we're really teaching them that skill or putting them in a situation and making them comfortable, showing them how to use a guitar or a microphone or drums or whatever to speak and express themselves. I love the new Guitar Center ad that came out a couple of months ago where it's James Hetfield. He says this, and he's got a guitar in his hand, but he's not really talking about the guitar either. He says, this gave me a voice I didn't have. And that's what the School of Rock does.
Awesome.
That's it.
Love it.
It is totally awesome. I get emotional when I think about it. It's awesome.